Hello and welcome to Why This Album Is the Balls. Alright, this is the next album in Opeth's discography, which is Still Life. It is a interesting concept album. It's just filled with turmoil and conflict, and really this album shows off a lot of new skills when it comes to showing emotion and telling a story. Engineering-wise, Frederick Nordstrom is still hanging in there with these guys, and there's a couple other people that weren't in the previous album in this, so there's like 5 or so engineers, mixers in this, as opposed to the 2 or 3 that were in the previous album. So a bit more production quality, and it really shows the skills of everyone involved in this production. Musicians have a lot more clean sounds, mixed sounds that sound just give you a whole full picture in your head. It's a work of art, production-wise. Martin Lopez is now on drums, and this album we get to hear Martin Mendez in this album, as he wasn't on the previous production. I guess he had just been hired, but now we get to hear his kind of full-on production value here in this album. Peter Lindgren is still hanging in there with the guitars. And all right, well, here we go. Song number 1, The Moor, and it fades in with a kind of sadness. So it kind of the album starts off with sadness and eerie notes from the lead. The echo or the reverb is really kind of giving you that kind of ghostly appeal. It just starts off, like, ooh, this is going to be a rough ride. So it takes you on a nice acoustic dreamland for a little bit, and then right there, boom, slams into a mega riff. Now, after this, what I would call a vocal argument, it is just crazy. And then he shows off some of his clean vocals here. The chaos then fades into this acoustic kind of piece, keeping the lead rhythm. A nice distant vocal medley continues, keeping that eerie sadness, and it ends with that gorgeous chorus. Then we have Godhead's Lament, the second song in this album. Just crashes right in with some angry vocals, chaos and heavy riffs, furious vocals. What do you This next part that I really enjoyed was the clean vocals come in as if it was like an apology, and then an awesome jam happens with the bass sounds and acoustic rhythms. The anger comes back, changing the riff, sliver of acoustics, before another round of angry and heavy riffs. Anger and heavy riffs. Then we come to Benighted. This song is it's a rest. It's a good point to just kind of slow down, take in everything that's just happened, because it was just furious. Now it's like take a break. The acoustics. Now I don't mean the guitars, but the room acoustics. It feels like you're in a grand hall or a castle or something of that nature. The sound is fantastic. His voice comes in, just you can tell he's expressing such sorrow and pain, and it really just comes out in his voice. Came and distorted your sight. Saw you benighted by your pride. Coming to this night, you're like alone. Now in this part, the solo in this, it's an amazing sound. It's got this great 70s vibe that you'd hear from some of the greats, but just whatever effect they're using, it is absolutely fantastic. The vocals kind of give you a feeling of, I just wish things were different, just something, you wish things had turned out different, but you were dealt a shitty pair of cards. And I think the vocals really pinpoint that emotion. What came and distorted your sight? Saw you benighted by your pride. Coming to this night when you're able. Then we get to the fourth tune, which is Moonlapse, Vertigo. I just love the way they title their songs. Such a great title for a song, Moonlapse, Vertigo. Starts off hard and heavy. In this section, has an amazing beat, and acoustic rhythms, and more ghostly style vocals, before heading into more anger and chaos and heavy riffs. Now it goes back and forth from clean and death vocals as if to show some sort of conflict, and you can really tell that it's heart-wrenching. So in this section of the song, I think this part really kind of nails it with the entirety of the emotion of the album. But this part here is really where it pinpoints that emotion. Now, in this section, I thought was really awesome. The guitar sound changes, and it's like a Hendrix-style sound. And as soon as I heard it, I'm like, oh my God, that's Jimmy. So there's a bit of Jimmy influence here, I think. Anyway, it's just my ears. and then it gets really eerie before heading into the lead. This next part, the vocals just really nail the emotion, fading off, and then gently rides into the next tune. Which is Face of Melinda. Now, I think Melinda is the overall emotion of this album. She's a doozy. Now, this tune, it starts slow, and it's a nice, easy mix of like uplifting notes and acoustics with more sadness in the vocals.
Words would falter to a tone. Failure had passed a stepping stone. She swore her vows to another. This is when no one will bother.
Now, this part, there's a change in the mood of the song to more of a kind of an unknowing feeling. Something is just left without an answer. And then it just drives into this amazing riff. This is like my favorite riffs of all time. That amazing riff just ends, and another acoustic sound comes in before the song fades off in another slow, heavy riff. All right, song number 6, Serenity, Painted Death. Another great title. Comes in heavy with the death vocals, and then in this part here, it fades off into a nice long note, leading into another round of heavy riffs. Now this part here, it's a fantastic beat, just a great beat with a bit of a lead. There's little slivers of acoustics here and there, and then the clean vocals come in with just a beautiful acoustic ride with an amazing bass line. I mean, he's really showing off his stuff here, and some really cool guitar effects. Now those really cool guitar effects then slam into this ultra angry vocals and super heavy riffs. Now again, the vocals here filled with conflict and turmoil, back to anger. There's a awesome guitar harmonic that's played in this section. Then it ends with an acoustic piece that just leaves you with a bit of emptiness, and then it ends abruptly, which then it just kind of, your heart just falls out. You're like, oh my God, what is happening? So again, a really emotional tune, and they're just nailing it with these emotions. The last song, number 7, is White Cluster. Now it's, again, hard and heavy starting off, and more angry vocals. But in this section, this is really where Michael shows off the skills of his vocal ability. It really shines in this verse with a great light medley kind of along with it.
Once I repent, I seal the lid. I slither for you, and I'm dying. I find trust in hate.
Now here in this section, the lead in this, which is sounding really demonic. It's awesome. And then fades to this really quiet, uneasy acoustic sounds or notes, and then just back into the anger and chaos. Now, toward the ending of this, Michael and Peter, I think, really have a great relationship in this, and it really shows off both of their skills, and it seems like they're feeding off each other. So I think in this particular section, they just sound so great together. Of course, kind of ends with this fade of heavy riffs, and then a few melancholy notes to kind of leave you in the end without answers. It wasn't a happy ending. The ending was just to leave you in kind of suspense and leaving you with this eeriness and sadness and turmoil and conflict and all those things that this whole album was about. It ends on that note, so to speak. So I can't say enough about the story, and using music to tell the story along with the vocals. Now, you don't have to pay attention to the lyrics of this song to understand what this album is about. So they really nailed that, which is why I think this album is the balls. So hope you enjoy, and stay tuned for the next one, which will be one of my favorite albums of Opeth's discography. It's just a great one. Until the next time, cheerio.